with Joe Pransky and Alex Vogel, and this is the H-CAM Sports Talk Show. So last week we picked the games, and we have a Super Bowl matchup. It is the 49ers and the Ravens, and as you can see, the one to my right is the one who picked the game right. So we will have a Harbaugh Bowl Brothers Super Bowl, even though I don't want to talk too much about the whole Harbaugh Brothers Super Bowl, but that's what you get. Ravens, 49ers should be interesting. So, like I said, you were the only one out to pick the game right. So, opening thoughts. What do you think of the Patriots game last week? We'll start with Alex.
Well, I thought that the Ravens did pretty good with the defensive line batting down the balls, and also that one play where they batted down the ball and got the interception off of it. Right. I think that was a pretty good play.
The Patriots, I don't think the Patriots showed up that game. So, yeah, we could have done a little better, not making sure that they weren't batting down the ball like we did with Watt. We should have automatically known that they were going to bat down the ball, and figure out that way from figuring out Watt. So, yeah.
Yeah, Joe, you said it. I don't think the Patriots showed up for this game at all. I really don't. I think they didn't play good. They weren't physical. And I think the Ravens just wanted this game more than the Patriots did. And I think that was what it came down to. I thought early in the first half, I was saying this to myself, they got the ball into Raven territory 4 or 5 times. I think it was 4. And they punted the ball every time. They didn't go for a field goal. They didn't move the ball enough after they were moving the ball. No, they punted. Those were lost points that they could have had early. They could have been up 28 to 7, 28 to 10, something like that early at 21. But they didn't. They didn't capitalize. They ended up with 13 points in the first half, which they scored the whole game. I just think they didn't show up on offense. And defensively, they played good in the first half. But when Talib went out, and then the second half they started to throw at him, Patriots were done after that. The Patriots were done when the Ravens were just throwing the ball. They couldn't stop them.
Yeah.
And then Patriots offense got down. They couldn't get into that rhythm. And I just don't think Brady played well either. I really don't. And I think that the Patriots, like you said, they did not show up. So it gives us, with the 49ers beating the Falcons, like I said, a Ravens and 49ers Super Bowl. It's not what me and you expected in this, but
yeah.
We'll talk more about the Super Bowl next week, but let's get some quick thoughts. Start with Joe this time on what do you think of this matchup for the Super Bowl?
I think it's going to be a tough game, well, like most Super Bowls. So, yeah. It's going to be a tough game, and they're going to be really hard-hitting. It's going to be a really hard-hitting game. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah.
All right, Alex, what do you think the Super Bowl is going to bring, and what do you think of the matchup? Do you like the matchup?
I like the matchup because the Ravens' defense has been stopping the run pretty well, but also with Kaepernick, he has his option that he can run. That it's going to be a really close game, I think.
This is going to be a great game. You know, I mean, it might not be the game that we expected, and obviously as Patriots fans we wanted, but it's gonna be a good game. I think it'll be close. And obviously, like I said, we'll have plenty of time next week to evaluate what we think of this matchup, evaluate it. And as you know, like I said, it's going to be a good game, like you guys said. So let's, early on in the show, let's get to the Bruins stuff. Last time we recorded this show, the Bruins were going to start the next day. And they have played 3 games since then. They've played the New York Rangers twice, and they have played the Winnipeg Jets. They're 2-0-1. They lost in overtime. So tonight, as of when this show is recorded, they're playing the New York Islanders at the Garden tonight. So I want to get some thoughts with Alex and Joe on what we've thought of the Bruins in the first 3 games.
Well, for the first 3 games, I think the Bruins have been doing extremely well with their, in general, yeah.
Okay. What do you think, Joe?
Well, I think our hitting in our rough game is really good. And I think that Chris Bork and Hamilton are both doing really well for them just coming into the season and their career. I think they're doing really well for that. Yeah.
I think I've been impressed the first 3 games of the season for the Bruins. I thought
Yeah.
the first game, the Garden was loud. It was the first game back. They're playing a very good team to start out the year, and I thought they played well. I thought they played good. I loved the way they were getting their scoring chances in these games. They look mid-season form. This team does. They're playing very good hockey. I've been impressed with Tuukka. For
Yeah,
what
too.
he's had to face, he's handled it the first 3 games. I've liked the Sagan line with Bergeron and Marchand. I've liked what that line has done. Sagan's made plenty of scoring opportunities in the first 3 games. Marchand's put in a goal. I've liked what I saw on the penalty kill for the Bruins, like they always
yeah.
bring. Their penalty kill is always good every year.
Yeah.
That recently after the cup and everything, and their penalty kill in the first 2 games has been good. They get chances.
Yeah, 100% for the penalty kills this year. So
Yeah,
far.
they're playing great
Yeah.
on defense and they're on special teams there. So look, the Bruins to me, they look like mid-season form. They look very good. This team I think can make a deep playoff run. I know it's early; it's only been 3 games, but if Tuukka can play good in the playoffs for them, a playoff run for this team.
Yeah.
I've really been impressed with what I've seen from the Bruins in the first 3 games. And
Yeah, and we also need to give Anton an actual trying in the games. Like put him in so he can actually know what the games are like.
yeah, it's another
Yeah.
thing is that see when we had Thomas, Tuukka would come in,
Yeah.
and he was the backup. So we had a
Yeah.
backup that was you could trust.
Yeah.
Well, this guy played 1 game last year for the Bruins, so we don't know what we're gonna get out of him when
Yeah.
Tuukka's tired, especially with these every other nights and some back to backs. They're gonna need a good backup. You're gonna need a backup goalie and come in and play good. So it's gonna be interesting to see what you got there. And I want to get on this now. Dougie Hamilton came up. He was the 9th pick 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He's been very good down in juniors. Won awards and everything. So, what do you guys think of how he's played the first 3 games? And I know it's early,
Yeah.
but I mean, I was personally really impressed with him. And what do you think he'll be? So, start with Alex this time and then go to Jill.
I think Dougie Hamilton will do pretty good this year from so far how he's done. How he's been doing really good, I guess.
Yeah, he's been getting tons of shooting opportunities, and it's been on the net like almost all the time. And yeah, he's been really accurate and really tough on D, and like stopping all the pucks. I mean, yeah.
I've been very impressed with Dougie Hamilton the first 3 games. The game that I was most impressed with was the 3rd game against the Rangers the other night.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with him and the way he played in that game. I thought that on power plays, when he was out there, he was moving the puck great.
Yeah.
He was getting in the positions. He got an assist in that game, his first NHL point
Yeah.
the other night against the Rangers the second time.
Mm-hmm.
There was a play on defense where Dougie Hamilton, I remember, they had a guy coming up on a breakaway, or it was at least they was 1-on-1, and Dougie Hamilton was skating out, and instead of tripping him up or anything, no, he made a really good play he was kind of going in and made a very nice play to get in front of him to get the puck, and the Rangers didn't get a shot, and he did very good. I was very impressed with the way he was moving the puck, and I was like, this guy could be a very good power play defenseman for them years down the road. He's known as an offensive defenseman, so I was very impressed with him the other night. I saw a lot of good things from him. I thought he did good the first 2 games, but the 3rd game he did really good. So that's some Bruins stuff to start off. So let's hit back to the NFL, and this will be the segment where we just digest the Patriots game, and really talk about the Patriots game. But we can get back to the Super Bowl matchup. Like I said, a lot next week. We'll talk about the Super Bowl. We'll go week going in. But I want to talk about what you guys thought in the second half when they got away from the run game. They were just throwing. So what do you think? They didn't run the ball a lot. I think that was a mistake for them, and they got too pass happy when they were getting down, and it was too quick. What do you think about that?
Well, I think they should have stuck with the run a little longer than they did, because as seen, the defensive line of the Ravens were batting it down most of the time or getting to the quarterback or something.
Okay. Joe, what do you think about?
We could have ran it a lot more, and slowed it down a lot more. That's what I meant to say at first, but yeah, we should have ran it too. So, yeah, and our defense could have been a little tougher than it could have been what it has been. And, yeah.
I definitely thought they could have ran the ball more, and they didn't.
Yeah.
And they threw the ball a lot, and they weren't getting enough going on. And I think it reminded me honestly about the Jets game in 2010, where they didn't capitalize. You need to capitalize on your opportunities. When you get to the other team's side of the ball, you can't punt it away every time. You can't have turnovers like they did. You know, like you once you get there, not converting on fourth down. When you get to the other team's side of the field, you have to get points. You can't go 6 times without getting any points. If you score 2 touchdowns on 2 of those times, and you get a 2-point conversion, at least you're tied. If you get 3 or if 2 touchdowns and a field goal, you're winning. But they didn't capitalize on any of them. 13 points of that offense, and like we've said in the first couple shows, Patriots offense doesn't score points. You could beat them. 13 points for the number 1 offense in football.
Yeah.
I mean, part of it was self-inflicted. It wasn't just the Ravens' defense. They didn't move the ball. They didn't get the ball in the end zone. Period. And that brings us to this next point I want to make. Okay, Tom Brady in the playoffs since the 2004 championship. Since he started 11-1, I think he's 8-7. I'm not sure on the exact record. If you want to look that up, Alex.
Well, I know at home in the playoffs, he's we are 21-0, but before the last game, so we're 21-1 right now, something like that.
Well, we did lose to the Jets, so we lost a couple other times. We lost to the Raiders too. But the point with I just don't think he's played as well. I just think that without that defense, ever since you go back to 2006, okay, they played the wild card game against Jacksonville, took care of business. Then they played the Chargers, and I think he threw 2 or 3 interceptions. And they ended up coming back late with Troy Brown. He caught the ball, and Troy Brown fumbled the football, and then the Patriots... No, Troy Brown didn't. He got stripped or intercepted. Troy Brown got the ball, and he picked it up. He forced a fumble. Patriots come back to win the game. They go to Indianapolis up 21-0 in the AFC Championship, and they blew it. Then the next year, all right, so that's Brady. And he played okay in the AFC Championship. Didn't play that good, but the end he came back against San Diego and against Jacksonville. I don't exactly remember how he did, but that was the wild card. The next year, he played pretty good against Jacksonville. Then they went and played San Diego. Patriots offense, I know they didn't play that good in that game. They played decent enough to win. And then the Super Bowl came, and the Giants had his number, and Brady didn't play good in that game. The whole offense did. It was 14 points. Then you get to the next year. Let's go to 2009. Wild card game. Brady didn't play good. He played awful. It was one of his worst games. 2010 against the Jets, didn't really play that good. They lost.
Yeah.
Then we go to 2011, beat up on the Broncos. Broncos aren't considered a real quality team that year. They were 8-8. Played the Ravens, didn't play that well. But they won. Yeah. Got to the Super Bowl, toss-up of a game. This year, Houston's an inferior team. Brady plays well against them, gets a matchup equal like the Ravens. Once again, doesn't play good. You notice a recurring theme here? And not taking anything away. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah.
One of the best of all time. But ever since they won that last championship, he has not played a lot of long games, and they haven't won a championship. I mean, do you guys think that speaks for something? I mean, I don't know. He hasn't. Yeah. They haven't. He's played average, if that, since he won his last championship. And you gotta look at the facts. Look at the record, look at the passer rating, all that stuff. It proves it. Just hasn't played well enough. And look, I know it's tough in this game. Look, there was no Gronk. Ridley gets hurt. I mean, on defense, there's no Aqib Talib. I mean, no Edelman. That could have helped. And with Gronk, I think was a big one, but still, you gotta play a little better. I just feel that he didn't make the plays all the time necessary to win. The yards might have been there. The completions weren't. I think he was 29 of 52. Did you find any of those? Okay, it's not a big deal. But I think he was 29 of 52. So, Joe, you know what I mean, Joe? Would you agree he hasn't played good? I mean, just watching him as an observer from the last X many years, would you say the same thing? I mean, just not a lot of great performances. Yeah. That's the thing. Not a lot of great ones. A couple, besides last year, obviously against them, but against a team on the Patriots level, like the Ravens, they've had their number. and they didn't win. And they didn't deserve it. You gotta go get it. It's AFC Championship. You're one game from the Super Bowl. I mean, you have to go out and play good. You have to. So that's what I thought definitely from that game. I want to just get your general observations on the defense in the second half, when Flacco and the whole defense was throwing the ball very well against the Patriots. What did you notice in terms of the linebackers? What did you notice completely as a team first, in terms of their pass defense in that game in the second half? I want to start with Alex this time.
Pass defense in the second half for the Pats?
Yeah.
Oh, they have to do a little better than just a few guys, because Chung got injured a little. Another person got injured, and they just fell apart after that, really, with the pass defense.
What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I agree with Alex about how people have been getting injured on defense. So, yeah, our backups could have been. We could be better. We could have worked with them better throughout the season instead of relying on the first line people. So,
yeah, what I noticed is obviously their pass defense has been a problem recently. If Patriots they're a lot better running stopper team this year. They were ninth. They were still in the 20s in the pass defense. They're not a good pass defense. Talib was a big impact. He had a big impact. He was very good. He was changing the secondary. But what I noticed, and people have been saying this year, their linebackers aren't very good in pass coverage at all. Spikes, great run stopper. He gets to stop the run anytime, but in pass coverage, it's not great. There was one play where Ray Rice, he threw the ball at Ray Rice out of the backfield, and Spikes just didn't get there in time, and Ray Rice got past him, and he got the first down. I noticed that a little bit with Mayo. Their linebackers they weren't quick enough, and they were not covered the pass at all. That's why the Ravens had so much success, because they were not doing anything in pass coverage. The linebackers couldn't. They weren't getting any pass rush on Flacco. I mean, why do you think the Ravens passed so good? It's because their defense couldn't cover in the second half without Talib, and they weren't getting any pressure. And this has been a much improved defense. I think they're only going to get better. They're great. I think they're a lot better in the run stop. They're top 10. But in pass coverage, they got a long way to go. Not a long way. They got signed to lead back and get some guys in the draft. So they have to do, because it did not look good in the second half. Flacco, they couldn't stop anybody. Anquan Bolden and all. Anquan Bolden got 2 touchdowns in the red zone.
Yeah.
No one was there to stop that. So that's just my thoughts on the defense in that game, man. Guys, it just wasn't as good. And I think maybe on offense, if you have Gronk in the red zone, you might have been able to punch it in. But there's one instance I want to just get your thoughts on. It was 4th and 2, about 10 minutes left, down by 15. And Brady was scrambling out, and he just threw the ball. It was incomplete. Do you think he should have, I don't know if he would have got it, ran for the first down? What do you think, Joe? Do you think he should have ran? He got to tried, or did he do the right thing and try to throw it?
We should have probably run it, because our running game's been good. So, yeah, we should have run the ball.
But what I'm saying, when Brady he was scrambling.
Yeah. It
was a pass play, but he sort of had an opening there. And if he hesitated.
Yeah.
Should he have took off and tried to get it?
Oh,
he would
yeah.
have took a hit. He would have took a hit. Do you think he should have definitely done that?
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you think he should have ran for it?
I think he should have ran for it, because he had a really good opening there, but
yeah. When I was watching the game, I was yelling at the screen to make him say run the ball, stuff like that. Yeah.
I thought he should have ran, and I don't know if he would have got it, but he hesitated. If he didn't hesitate, he might have got it.
Yeah.
This is the way I look at it. Okay, AFC Championship, 10 minutes left. You're in Baltimore territory. You're down by 15. You need to get this first down. It's not third down. You don't just force a throw that is very low percentage. I think even though Brady's an awful runner and he's very uncoordinated, you had a better chance of picking up those 2 yards, just ducking your head down, taking a hit, than if you threw the ball. And obviously they didn't get it. He forced it. It was just not good. And I said to myself, after that, the game was over. Even when the Patriots got down and Brady threw a pick in the end zone, the game was over after that for me. Because they just could not stop the Baltimore after that. Once they can get that first down, I was like, this game's over. So that's what we think on the Patriots game. Obviously, very disappointed, and we don't know how many chances they have left with Brady's years. That's just a,
Maybe you have like 3 years, something like that.
Yeah.
I feel like 3.
Maybe 3-4 years left of this run. Can they get another championship? Can they get that 4th championship that Montana has, that Bradshaw has? Can Brady get that? It's gonna be interesting, but you have to give them credit. They lost the Super Bowl. They went to the AFC Championship game. So teams who usually get to the Super Bowl usually don't do that well. They did good. So what's the first thing we're gonna do is Celtics talk. Thank you. I was about to get to that. So right now, currently the Boston Celtics are 20-22. They're in 8th place. How much? They got looks like a 5-game lead. They got a 3-game lead on the Philadelphia 76ers, riding right behind them for that 8th spot. Okay, they got a game against. They lost last night.
5-game losing streak.
What?
You have a 5-game losing streak so far.
Yeah, we are on a losing streak. We were on a winning streak. Celtics were playing well with Bradley came back. Boston Celtics right now have a 2.5-game lead of the 8th spot. They played the Knicks last night. Played them tough, 2-point loss. They've played the Knicks good this year. They won in Madison Square Garden earlier this month. They got a game this Sunday, as of this airing, against Miami Heat. Big game. I think it's Ray Allen. I think it's at home. Is that at home, Alex? We're on the website right now.
Yeah.
The game this week. It's it's at home.
Yep.
Ray Allen's coming back. Wonder how the crowd's gonna take him. Perceive that and give him a cheer, boo. I would cheer. But anyway, after this game, you gotta look at the end of January. Okay, teams might be calling up for Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce with their value to go to a team who's in it, can make a championship run, and give you good young players for one of them. I'm gonna ask both of you guys right now. As of right now, you don't know. I don't think this team's anywhere close to a championship. They could get in the playoffs. Maybe even get Miami a run. Maybe a 6-game series. I don't think they're gonna win it. Even a round. Do you trade Pearson or Garnett or both, or do you even think about it? If you can get good young players for building for the future, I want to start with Alex.
Well, I would trade one of them if it was for getting younger, better players, if possible. So I would trade at least one of them.
So you would do it? All right. That's the second question I'm going to ask you, Alex, is if teams come up for Rajon Rondo and want to give you something now, as you can see, the Celtics have tried to trade him before the Clippers got Chris Paul in the trade. Celtics offered Rondo. There's been rumors with Rondo. Do you trade Rondo or do you keep him?
Well, if they've already tried putting him up for trade once. I think they're going to try and put him up again because I don't think they like him much anymore.
So you think the offer is right and you get picks, young players, maybe a new point guard, anything. If it's decent, it has to be good. It can't be.
Yeah.
You would do that too.
I would do that.
You would kind of remold this team. All right, now I'm gonna ask the questions to Joe. I'm gonna start with this. Would you trade Pierce or Garnett?
I don't know. I'd probably trade Pierce because getting old, and Garnett still has a shot. And I haven't really followed basketball much, but yeah, I think that Garnett has more of a shot than Pierce, if I think back about when I watched it last year in the playoffs. So, yeah.
Okay. Would you trade Rajon Rondo?
No, I wouldn't. Because he got so many triple doubles, I think it's called. Yeah. And last year that he still could come back and get those and win the games. So, yeah.
My feeling on this is that, look, you're not doing anything. You're older. I think last year was your last shot. Game 6, you're up. It's at home against Miami. You don't win. Game 7, you're playing good. You don't win. You were playing good most of the game. The Heat made a run late in that fourth quarter. You don't win. That was it. You're older now. The Celtics are an older team. This team's just more young and athletic than them. On defense, they're known as a defense team. They have been great. People just get right to them, paint on them. I know Bradley's a great young player, and he's definitely improved their defense. But look, they're not a championship team. And if you're trying to win the championship every year or build towards that, then you got to do what's best for the future. And this team is not gonna win a championship anytime soon. They're not even. I don't think they'll get to the Eastern Conference Finals again. They might get to the second round, but I don't think they'll get to the conference finals again. You have to play for a championship. If someone's gonna give you good young players for Pearson Garnett, good, or picks, you do it. I say you do it. If you don't settle, if someone's gonna give you something real, you do it. In a heartbeat, you do it, because that will help you for the future. Rajon Rondo is a different story. I think that he's a very good player. He's probably the best distributor in the league. But he doesn't have a great jump shot.
Yeah.
And he doesn't score 20 points a night for you, like Chris Paul, about 19. Rondo scored about 13, maybe 11, around that range a night. And if you're going to keep him, he's not going to be the scorer. And if you have a bunch of young guys, where's your offense going to come from? That's the thing. He can't go score 25 points a night. He's not that type of player. Rondo needs guys to distribute the ball to. And if he doesn't have anybody, then I don't think he's good for your team. So I think what you have to do is, if someone's going to give you either a point guard who can score or picks too with Rondo, I think you do it. Because I don't know if he's the long-term answer. Because he can't shoot. I know he's improved it this year, but he's not going to give you 20 a night. And that's what you're going to need, especially moving on from those guys. So yes, I would trade Rondo with a good price, just like the other two guys. I think it's getting closer to time to move on. This thing's been going on since 2007. We're now in 2013. They're all older now. I don't know their exact age. And look, like you were saying, last year the Suns won the division. That's not happening this year.
What the?
Okay. But we got Brooklyn and New York who are ahead of them in that division. They're younger and they're better. Celtics aren't winning that division anymore. So I think it is time to move on. So we've got about 3 minutes left in the show. So Pro Bowl's this Sunday. Anybody gonna watch the Pro Bowl?
Yep.
Should be I know Brady's not going. I know there's a lot of guys who pulled out of the Pro Bowl. Obviously anybody from San Francisco or Baltimore's not it. I don't know who's exactly playing, but hey, it should be good. Definitely watch hockey this weekend. The Bruins playing Friday night. I don't know if they're playing Sunday. Do you know that, Joe?
I think I know they're playing this weekend, I think.
I know they're playing tonight. Alex is
I think they're playing Sunday.
I think they might be playing Sunday. They got a game tonight. As of this airing, against the Islanders. Like I said, what I love about watching this Bruins team.
They're not playing?
Is what'd you say?
Their next game is Monday.
Monday.
After tonight.
Yeah. Okay.
Against who?
Monday is
Penguins?
against the Carolina Hurricanes.
Hurricanes, okay,
Cool.
yeah.
Cool. So I love about each Bruins game. You get to learn a little bit more about them. You get to see what they're gonna become. Because I think there's no doubt in my mind they're gonna get to playoffs and win their division and be a top 3 seed. I think they could be a 1 seed or 2. I really do. So I'm interested to see every game you learn something new and you get to see how they're progressing. But like we were saying earlier, I think they're in mid-season form. They really are. They look very good in the first couple games. I think they got, like I said, the first couple shows they've been together. It's almost the same team from the All-11 Stanley Cup team. So they got the chemistry down. And you said the same thing. You were telling me the other day that you have faith in Tuukka.
Yeah.
And that he has 1 year of respect. Oh, wait a minute. I want to say one thing. We never gave props to Alex for picking the game right. I almost forgot about that. We had to stop in front of our Bruins thing here, and I wanted to shake Alex's hand. I mean, picking the game 21-14. He was 1 point off. I thought he was crazy for picking a game that was that much of range in terms of the two teams. So he picked it right. Me and Jill, we were wrong.
Yeah.
So I wanted to give you that. But, so we're talking about the Bruins. And you believe in Tuukka right now. Quickly, I want to know, do you believe in Tuukka right now, or do you need to see more out of him?
I believe in him for right now.
I need to see more. I know what, I mean, you guys like right on the bandwagon. I wanted this guy to succeed and be a great goalie for the Bruins. Yeah. But I want to see throughout this year, and when he does good to playoffs, that's when I'll be completely confident in Tuukka Rask. So we're getting to the end of the show here. So we have a Facebook page now. It's called the H-CAM Sports Show. Like it on Facebook.
Yep.
We'll start. Like I said, we want to do interactive stuff. So you like it, you send us questions. We'd love to start answering it. So next week will be Super Bowl week. So we'd love to talk Super Bowl stuff and get more on the Bruins and the Celtics. So this is the H-CAM Sports Talk Show. I'm Brian DeStoop with Alex Vogel and Joe Pransky. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.